Hardest damn thing is when you talk about yourself. Hardest damn thing would try to do something like a crazy thing of writing a letter to Santa Claus. I have to keep thinking about the inspirational writers of Transcendentalists, Thoreau and Emerson, Dickinson. How they like to go against the odds. How the hell is a 54-year-old fart? Large as I am, but ask something from Santa Claus. Usually when I'm doing videos, I'm usually talking about my personal experiences, observations, everything that I've gone through and experienced, including family histories. And to reach out to a being that's not a long time ago existed, but I guess maybe the spirit existed more than instead of the physical being, or being a helper at one time of my life, or a few times in my life. It meant a damn thing to me. I guess nobody else wanted to do it because they weren't big enough for it. One way or another. And these days I'm more like a damn Scrooge or McGrinch at this point. I mean, how do you write to a Santa Claus concerning about what's going on in your damn life and everything else seems to be miserable as hell? And I'm not talking about the COVID situation at this point over here. When you're dealing with depression like crazy, when you're dealing with grief, and you're dealing with mental health issues that just kind of come out like Pandora's box got nuked, and then everything else is going crazy. It's like, how do you talk to something like that, or someone like that? Hard enough time for me doing videos trying to find the right words to say concerning about politics or the COVID or family experiences I've gone through, personal memories of lost loved ones that I've actually had. In the past 10 years, I've already had a couple of doozies already that are still ringing my chimes. And pouring my heart and soul at someone else regarding the extreme grief I go through. It's not the easiest damn thing in the world, I'll tell you. I know, people say, you've got to get out of yourself to get into service. Yeah. It seems like the more I get into service for others at this point over here, the more the Scrooge that comes out of me at this point over here. Then I get the Grinch attitude, the fear and paranoia. Instead of enjoying the moment of giving to people at this point over here, it seems like I'm more and more recluse. And the weirdest part about this situation here is like when I help other people out, it seems like some kind of reputation somehow floats around that I can actually help another person. It scares me. It means I actually give a hoot about the other person and I start worrying about them, whether or not they're going to be a security risk or something, or they actually do need help. But when that gets under my skin at that point over here, it just drives me nuts. I mean, there are a few neighbors over here that I do actually care about. And when I see the other neighbors, I don't feel that way. Just passing shadows, and that's about it. Not substance, not solid, not form. Despite all the external stuff that's happening at this point over here. This is my world, okay? This is my world. I had been a caregiver. Seems like all my life. Since I got thrust into a situation of getting into the job market, and before that, trying to take care of my disabled grandmother, along with my disabled mother, trying to help her out with her damn back. My brother gets out of, screws up in the Navy, takes a year off, and ruined his whole life and his career, but he still moved on. He was a hero to me. He was a hero to me. And I tried to live up to some kind of ideal, some kind of expectation. My mother. I know to hell she was disappointed when I couldn't complete college when I got out of college, when I got out of high school. I mean, it was just, I wasn't mentally immature there. Struggled to go through the schools necessary. You know, you go to the kindergarten, you go to the elementary school, you go to the junior high, then you go to the high school. But you're supposed to be mature enough to go into the college and actually understand what the hell's going on. Holy moly. I disappointed my mother, and I worked my ass off for 30 years at different jobs left and right. She even wanted something better for me at this point over here. She helped get me into a couple of schools. One of them went bankrupt. It gave me a little bit more job skills necessary to continue on. Go to an occupational center and learn more job skills, and that helped me grow further at employment. And along the way, besides caring for my family a great deal and trying to take care of the financial responsibility of my brother, 8 years older than I am, he struggled like crazy at different jobs, and even with his partial disability, was a screwed up back, screwed up knees. He was an inspiration to me. Combat, military trained did things to him. He still struggled. Ma got sick, and Dave and I were 24/7. And I was still trying to work my butt off for about 5 years at a retail store, the last job I had. They'll buy a damn tire, and everything else goes. And still I took care of my mother, along with my brother, and then he passes away. He passes away. I'm all alone. I struggled with my brother regarding his sobriety. He helped me with mine. Died 32 years sober, you know. Seasons like Thanksgiving and Christmas were the most important thing to Ma and Dave. Most important. My brother was everything to me. Ma was everything to me. It seemed like I miss him more than I miss her. I know it was her time to go, but it wasn't his, but he stroked, and then 3 months later, or 2 months later, I think it was 1 month later, I lost track of time during that time, 2018. I mean, everything else happened so damn fast. He dies. He vaporlocks in an ambulance ride between home and the hospital in September, the beginning of the holiday season. I happened to die back in 2013 at the end of the holiday season. That screwed things up in the middle right there, you know. Ma always did love a decorated tree. She always loved a decorated tree. I always got on my ass when I didn't decorate it right. Of course, David left it alone to me. 40 years. 40 years, John's tree. The last 5 years, I've been going to college. I didn't want to screw things up like my brother almost did with him health-wise. Took 2 classes each time. And then when he passes away 2018, I had to take a semester off and then come right back and then try to take 1 class at a time to see if I can get back into par again. Here it comes out for this time of year. The hardest damn thing we're going to do is to show people this. Because in that upper shelf is where they rest. A constant daily thing. This is my brother's seat I'm sitting in right now. This is my brother's seat. I was sitting on the other end. We always looked after each other's back. I watched his, he's watched mine. I got no one to do that for me now. My brother, David Wishaw. My mother, people called her Mary Ann. Mary Ann Shaw. I have kept up a Christmas decoration since last year because I couldn't take the thing down. I mean, when 2018 hit in and everything hit hard, I had to get bug bombed. Bed bugs all over the damn apartment. Bag things up. Fight the management to keep this apartment that we both lived in for 5 years. Large for everybody else, but for me it's home. It's home. The 2018 holiday opened up. I had to leave Christmas decorations up because I sure as hell couldn't deal with it. And then the hard thing is to bag everything else up because the place had to be roasted. I want to get rid of them little damn buggers. And then 2019 came. And I tried to keep the lights up, but they still wanted to do an inspection of the place. I had to take things down. But I kept my Christmas stuff up. A little table, a couple of trees, and stuffed animals, and decorations all over the place. Now it's dusty as hell. It reminds me of the fall of the House of Usher. Paul would have a field day. The problem is, I think he had a better time than I would. Class I'm taking this semester at Old Valley College in Lancaster, California. American literature. We finally get into the depressional stages of transcendentalism and of the 1800s. Either I'm doing something on Melville or I'm doing something on Poe for the last essay. Kind of fits my own depressional mood at this point over here, you know? Because I am depressed. I keep the Christmas decorations up, and I started them earlier this month, right after Halloween. Usually when the Christmas decorations came, my brother and I would do the house. Didn't matter where the hell we lived. We did the house or did the apartment. Usually right after Thanksgiving. Word of advice, don't do it the night before Christmas or Christmas Eve. Didn't work. We ruined our mother's Christmas one year, did that. We got too lazy, got too damn tired. And that was the lousiest Christmas and the year after that. Don't ask me the date. I think it was sometime in the 90s. We were in my mother's Christmas during that time. And I hated it ever since. Dave and I always managed to get the place decorated right after Thanksgiving. So at least we had 2 or 3 weeks of just trying to soak in the ambiance. Took us about a week or less just to get things decorated. Throughout the years, we collected a bunch. Within the past few years, we lost all of it. Decisions made, mistakes made, and then Carolyn's gone. Whatever remnants I've got saved, I've got it on my tree, and I don't want to lost again. That's why I keep it up. I don't want to lose it ever. I've already lost too much as it is. I mean, material things are one thing, but some things are just memories of family, and it's hard to deal with a situation, and it's hard to deal with seasons like this. Despite the fact, I know after my mother's death, my brother and I went over to different meeting halls and talked with a lot of people, helped a lot of people. We took 1 year of doing service in a 12-step meeting hall just to get out of our damn funk, out of our misery. We talked to people about it, but we really didn't deal with it. We masked over the thing. And then when my brother passes away in 2018, it's like everything ugly inside of me that I kept bottled up just poured right out and blasted crippled me. I can't feel the ambiance of the holiday season, despite how much, whatever stuff I have left to put up to show whatever holiday season I want to demonstrate to people or to myself. It just is enough because the people that mattered most to me are not here. They're dead. Ashes. Reality check. So I try to understand people's point of view when it comes down for their depression at this point over here, because I can't tell you how many moccasins I've been wearing these days. I can't tell you how much this hurts. And sometimes it's not that easy. When I help somebody else in the neighborhood over here in my apartment complex, I feel responsible for them. I've got an old lady over here that's almost crippled herself. She's got a dog that's worse than her. She has a little bit more life left in her, and I have to keep making sure that little dog is alive and taken care of outside, because I don't want that dog to be street pizza. I've seen one dog already been that way before. Actually, a few dogs been that way before, and it is never the easiest damn thing for me to see that, or even hear it. Especially when you have deep feelings. One dog over here did meet the maker, and it shouldn't have. The owners didn't care. So it was in the hands of God. And we're told many times, put the dog on a leash. The dog kept being a pain in the ass to people. This is like the first year we're living in this place. And it was a pain in the ass, but I liked this little scrapper because it was a little scrapper. Well, feistiness sometimes, but it was cute. Mojo. Brown and white. Very small. I only wanted to play and have someone care about it. Next thing I know, the dog's ending up in the street. I'm getting whiplash looking at a car rolling by, speeding by after hitting Mojo, and I heard the thump. I couldn't deal with myself for a long while after that. I had dogs. I had a black and white Papillon. Had him for 17, 18 years. Maybe longer now. He's called Little Boy. He's a pound dog. Has something wrong with his hip, but man, he was a feisty little bean. Stroke out his ass. It was hard to see him go through it too, especially when he didn't have the money to take care of him. This was a few years ago. It was like 2 or 3 years before my brother passed. And the remaining dog I've got left is Mama's. That's her wiener. Also a brown dog, brown and white. Part Chihuahua, part Dachshund. Lovable. Absolute true. She likes the leash. Do anything for her. Do anything for her. This is not the easiest thing for me to talk about on video. It's supposed to be my emotional support, and sometimes I feel like I'm hers. Christmas rolls in mind. I know a lot of people asking for material crap. I'll never have what I want back. And the only thing I keep asking God is when my time's coming. And I know I still got other things to do on this planet. I'm not ready to see him just yet. And I miss him like hell. I made a promise to myself that sometimes I wondered why the hell I did that in the first place. When I struggled through the schooling, I struggled through the college because I didn't want to make my mom disappointed in me in heaven. 5 years I tried to keep a good GPA going. At least above a C. I promised my brother, even after his death, I'd still continue on. And sometimes I questioned that promise even after he'd passed. But I'm held fast to it, and I have to continue on. Because it's the only damn thing that matters to me the most. I enjoyed going to school. I enjoyed going to college even as an adult. And I regretted over 30 frickin' years of not doing it back then, but I was not ready. I was not mature enough. I was not mentally ready for it. And I couldn't talk to Ma about it. I didn't know how to talk to my family about it. I kept feeling my mom kept pushing me on this damn thing because she never got past junior high. But she was smart as a whip. She had her own business of income tax and bookkeeping. And if she had gotten a GED, she would have been teaching in college, concerning about how to do accounting and how to do tax work. She was smart as a whip. She read constantly. Every time I kept going for a book, she was always looking in my damn back pocket and said, "You don't have enough." This is something? Yeah, I'm missing the books in your back pocket. I always read when I was a kid. And she encouraged it. She encouraged me to read. I love literature. I miss is not showing her grades I'm trying to get right now through college. What I miss because of this blasted COVID bug is talking to students every semester. Because every time I keep running into a damn student, they always keep saying, I don't want to continue it because I can't do this unless I say hogwash. Give me a break. You don't know. Oh, tell me a story. Tell this old dog a story. Tell me about your struggles about working full-time and going to school, maybe full-time or part-time. Tell me that you got a mother or father or both on your ass to get good grades all throughout your school. Tell me something I don't already know. Tell me that you're already taking care of somebody at home as a caregiver and you're struggling like crazy, even at a young age. I'll tell you what you're going to be going through. It's when you lose going to school. When they give you an academic separation letter, you will tear your ass apart. Your family will tear your ass apart. My mom gave me two options, homeless or work full time. And I kicked my ass for over those frickin' 30 years. Don't tell me I know what struggle. I don't know what struggle is. I know what struggle is. And I know what burns. When you see people in different jobs that you're working at who have the managerial background because they had the experience. Worse than that, they had the education. They'd gone to college, they got degrees. They rose up, you stayed. Didn't matter how many times you have or how many years you had in the job. The ones who got the pink, got the sheepskin, they move up, you're flatlined. Tell me something I don't already know. Tell me something I don't already know at this point. You know struggle? Try going to school while being homeless at one time and taking care of a brother at the same time while trying to get life support from a government system that demands a hell of a lot out of you. And going to food banks for survival. Right now, because of the damn bug situation we got going on, now some people keep thinking it doesn't exist or not. They play head games. That's why we're in the lot we're in right now. A lot of things I could be stressed out, a lot of things I could be angry about, a lot of things I could be frustrated at. And that usually probably burns me even further because I don't have my mother and my brother to share this information with. I don't have a holiday season over here that I can actually sing Christmas carols with. Sharp, flat, neutral all at the same time. Baritone and bass can't find his damn notes. I used to sing in a choir with my brother. A couple of years at a church. It was the best time of my life, I remembered. Struggling to find the notes and listening to people around me just so I could get my cues left and right. Practicing left and right with the choir leader. He's trying to struggle with my talent and my brother's talent. And he had more training in it than I had as a kid, and I didn't. Because I still had a nice voice. Memories like that stick with me. Memories like that stay with me. And sometimes they haunt me in my dreams. You don't think I know what this season sometimes means for a lot of people? Both the ups and the downs. It's easy enough for me to stay down at this point over here and not care about what happens around me or the people around me at this point over here. It's easy to ignore these things. It's easy enough not to care. Because you could turn yourself off into a mindless zombie and not think about what happens to the other person. But for me, when I get involved with another person, when I help them out a little bit here or there, and I start to think about what's going on with their lives, what's going on with them, how are they dealing with things. So what gets to me is sometimes they don't think about me at all. Maybe it's a good thing or no. I don't know. Or maybe I should be just happy with the memories and that's about it. There's a lot of things I took advantage of. There's a lot of things I liked, but not anymore. I'm a fool, I'm an idiot. That's what I am. I don't know what to say or do about things at this point. But this is my story for this holiday season. Struggle and strife. A heavy life. And then just dealing with life. You can load up with so much material stuff. It doesn't mean a damn thing sometimes. Very few items actually do because I put worth and value on them. But the rest of it is just... The cabinet that you see behind me is older than I am. So is the book cabinet behind me. So is there's a desk over here. And another table I have over here. Relics of different pasts of different relatives I've kept. Different memories. Different things I had and had to take care of. One day it'll be gone. I'll have pictures. All I'll have is pictures. All I have is memories of pictures. I'll fill up flash drives with pictures. Because that's all I have is memories. I'll go through laptops. I'll go through cell phones. I'll go through changes of clothing. I have the memories. As long as my brain and my heart, my soul are still working, I have memories. This may or may not be an easy season for me to deal with. But I still have the memories of holiday seasons of yore. I still pine. It was only for shadows that are already gone. Wisps. I have to look at now, I have to look at what is. If things can be done, if things are needed, if people need to be helped, and if I'm there, then I have to help. I don't put myself on a damn soapbox and say, look what I've done, look what I've done. I've seen other people do that before. I know one thing, I'm a fool, I'm an idiot. Some people think I'm a caring human being. Sometimes the seasons drive Scrooge and Grinch right out of me. and I emulate them on some occasions. I have to be revisited by the three ghosts. Dickens was talking about the times that he was living in London, the social class problem that they had. We have it here too. He was writing it in a Christmas format of saying greed. Greed rules all over humanity. Dr. Seuss created the Grinch. Grinch who got mistreated like crazy. Different versions, different formats of him. He didn't like what was going on. He didn't like where he was, or how he was, or what he was. All he knew is he wanted to hate like crazy because that's the only thing he knew how. He knew how to be angry, and he knew how to hate like crazy. It took revelations in the end of both stories, of both characters, to realize that seasons like these are not meant to be the Grinches and Scrooges, unless there's going to be change, unless there's going to be a changed version of a Scrooge or a Grinch. Sometimes we have to evict those guys out of us. Something or another happens, and then we have to force ourselves into that decision. Do we allow them to control us, or do we control them? If we control them, we can get rid of them. Even if it's just for maybe 1 day or 1 hour or 1 minute. We just retain our humanity, our generosity, our spirit, our love. It's hard enough looking at our misery because it is too damn easy. The hardest thing is looking away from it and looking forward sometimes. It scares the hell out of us because we don't know where the hell we're going. We have no clue. I don't know if there's a lesson in there or not. I don't know. I have to keep learning this all the time. I have to be reminded on it on a constant basis. Probably after I stop talking, I'll probably feel right back again. Or maybe not. I don't know. But what I can tell you is I'm still learning and evolving. I do care. I actually get off my dead ass to do so. And if I was going to be writing a letter to Santa Claus about all this stuff, I don't know what the hell I'd tell him anyway. Tell him that I wonder if he's got another room at the factory over there for a 54-year-old college freak. I don't know if I'd be any good anyway, since I don't work. Bad neck, bad back. And the mental health change. But I'll give up on things. There's some things anyway. I'm a walking, talking contradiction of terms sometimes. I'm a hypocrite at times. So I call myself a fool and idiot. Like I know better. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I never claimed to be an expert of anything. All I'm saying is what I've been learning and had learned. Being taught is you're regurgitating something that's forced down your throat and you have to give it back up as rote. But if you learned anything that's going beyond that, I think that's what scares a hell of a lot of people. Sometimes it tickles me when I do actually learn something like that. I can chuckle at it and say, well, at least I can look above the din. I can take a look above the people that are yakking away thinking they know better, and I can just smile to myself. And just walk through them, or walk around them, or maybe not even approach them, just go out and live. That's what I need to do. I need to live. If I can live, I'm doing something good. If I'm not living, I gotta try something else on it. But I sure do not want to go down under and say that this season has gotten the worst out of me, so I am going to turn myself in to the Undertaker. And the hell with being buried, just cremate my damn ashes and pour me over California. I'm a native, this is home. Just remember, my brother's from Texas and he needs ashes over there. My mom's from Utah. She wants her ashes over there. But my brother's also part military. He was Navy. He served there. So part of his ashes need to go in the water. I'm really getting depressed. Thanks a lot. Happy New Year. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas.